They're selling our land, they're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling And I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand, but I can fix this. I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling Everybody sells some every day. Giddy up, giddy up. Come on. Oh, no. Let's go. Who's the donkey again? They're selling one island. They will keep. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling
Whoa, girls, we outdoing
It has almost been a solid week that I have not had running water where I live in Harbor Island. Sorry, Billionaire Island. I don't know what is up. That's above my pay grade. I'm pretty sure I'm paying someone else to deal with that, but at this point, I'm willing to assist because the way that basic utilities is a gift these days. Basic utilities, you know, what you pay for, like basic livable standards, running water, functional electricity or current, like we say in the Bahamas. It's almost like a gamble. Like, do we have water today? Yes, we do. Yay! That should be normal, bro. That should be normal. And one thing with me, I'm gonna keep it to y'all. I can give it to y'all real. I can tell y'all the good and the bad about living in the Bahamas. And I will say that these are the things that make us the third world country that we are. It's a beautiful place. It's luxurious. It's so expensive, but my Lord, look at them dishes. I can't use my good drinking water to wash no dishes, so I don't know how people with families doing it. I actually took a shower at a hotel last week because I just wanted water to run over my head, you know? I can't say what it is in case they catch on to what I'm doing. But for the past couple days, let me show y'all what I have to do. So what I have to do is put water in these gallon jugs. I have a ton of these, and I also have some in here. As you can see, they're empty. Cause, you know, I'm just a girl. I want bed, right? And listen to y'all for dropping it low, but not to take a shower. I don't feel like squatting the bed. Like, life is hard enough. Life is hard enough. So yeah, y'all cousin over here in Harbor Island, waterless. Everybody waterless. So if you plan on visiting Harbor Island, please make sure if you rent an Airbnb, they have some kind of water supply available to you. Because God forbid you go on the beach coming back salty. You could be miserable and itchy. I don't know what they plan to do. I'm just here to let you know what's going on. It's not giving billions. It's not.
Fernando, can you explain what took place here at Lowe's Pharmacy this afternoon?
Yes, shortly after 1 p.m. this afternoon, two security officers from a private security firm, they were about to enter Lowe's Pharmacy. At the time, they were in possession of 2 deposit bags that was collected from another business establishment. Then a small Japanese vehicle pulled up. One individual exited that vehicle. He was armed with a handgun and demanded cash. The officers tried to make their way into the store. Shots were fired and both security officers were shot to the body. They were robbed of the deposit bag. The individual got back into the car. There was a lone driver at the time and drove off. At this present time, we have officers up and about. We got a plate number, and we are following some leads with respect to this incident. And we encouraging persons who would have been in this area at the time. This is an area always congested. You have to toe a line to get out of here once you are in. So this is a congested area. They are very bold individuals. As we continue to say to members of the public, if you see something, say something. It is hitting home to all of our doors right now. This crime situation is not only the police, it's a whole collective approach in dealing with this crime situation. We now have to take this fight to another level. We now have to take this fight to another level. We're encouraging business owners. We are encouraging business owners to please get to know your commanders. Get to know your commanders.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this first day of May in the year of our Lord 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a special day for me. It's a day of it is a birthday of my last child, my daughter. And I just want to say a special happy birthday to you. We are going to be celebrating hard this entire week. And so special happy birthday to you, my baby girl. I only got 2 children. And my baby girl is now 14. Boy, they grow up fast. I could remember when she was born. I mean, this is life really, life really flies by. I want to say a special happy birthday to you. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. I love the dirt you walk on, and God bless you. So getting ready to party with you all week. So we'll see what happens. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. You know what to do when you get here. Of course, they have the system set up to not share, especially when we're talking about things relating to the government. Remember when they were doing that lockdown thing, and whenever you mentioned the V word, they would block your live or not share it, etc., etc. And the government seemed to have the same capability. So it's the keywords that if we mention in the text or while we're talking, it's not going to be shared by Facebook. And so you have to do your duty in order to get the word out. So do your follow us. I can't do it until after the live. And do your highlight. So do your follow us and highlight. Make sure you're part of what's going on. All right. So I'm going to be joined today by the chairman of our organization. We want to talk about what's going on in the country, and we want to talk to you. We're going to open the lines. How do you feel about this failed state that we're living in? How do you feel about all of this? And so before we get started, I'm going to be joined now by the chairman of our organization, Miss Charlotte Green. Yes, I'm going to be joined by Miss Charlotte Green. And here she is. Let's get you lined up.
Hello, good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Yes, good evening to you. And welcome. And it's so good to have you here on this live on this Tuesday.
Good evening, Mr. Bean, and good evening, Bahamas. Thank you for having me. I would like to also send a shout out to Beijing. Happy birthday. And I hope that you are enjoying your birthday. Thank you.
Yeah, she called my daughter's name. Her name is Beijing. And I named her Beijing because China was a big part of my life back in the day. I actually lived in China for a long period of time. And I thought the name was beautiful. And so that's the name we gave her. All right. So thank you for that. And she actually watches the lives and she watches what we do. I didn't know she was doing it. These kids grow up so fast. You know, 1 minute, you know, I could just buy them doll babies and that's Christmas, you know, and then now you got to buy iPhone, what the thing name? iPhone Pro Max Plus and all these stuff, you know. You can't buy them little simple toys anymore. You know, things change and they grow up really fast. And, you know, I really felt it, you know, one day when she called me, you know, disturbed when she saw the police, you know, basically dragging me on the ground outside of Parliament for no reason. And she was a younger kid at the time. And, you know, she was like, but he attacked you. You know, you were just going to Parliament. You were just standing there and he attacked you. Like, can't everyone see that? And I was like, yes, people see it. But, you know, corrupt governments, they don't care. And, you know, she was distraught. And so she watches the Facebook and she watches, you know, when people tell lies on me and that kind of stuff, it really hurts. And people don't think that people have family that are affected by all of this stuff. But, you know, that's really what it is. And so that caused me to have to change the way even I speak because she's watching everything. And so, again, happy birthday to you, my love. And I'll see you in short order. But in the meantime, we're here to talk about this country that we're fighting for. You know, I'm fighting for this. I can't leave my children to suffer in this country. And right now, the country is broken. And the whole thing with this government seems to be a whole PR scam. That they know they're doing nothing. They know they're accomplishing nothing. But their job, they feel like if they could just put some good videos out there and put a lot of fluff and all that out there, then maybe things would be different for the Bahamian people. Ms. Green, I've been getting calls all day, texts all day. I don't know about you. It's like the country is on fire. It's like the country is in a state of disrepair. We've never seen it like this before. Never. I don't even know what to say. You know, every area you look at, the country is failing. I just paused now because I don't see the text ruling. I was wondering if they hit our live because I don't see the text moving on my screen. I just want to make sure.
It's not moving here also.
Okay. Everybody, send some text. Let us know where you're broadcasting from. Let us know where you're broadcasting from. So at least we can see that the text is live. Okay. Someone says Charlotte Green from Marco City. Okay, that's someone from YouTube though. Yeah, all of the latest texts from YouTube. So I'm just trying to make sure that we're still up on Facebook. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, the texts are. That's from the beginning. Let me just make sure we're still up and running. Y'all just give me a sec. Okay. Let me see. Okay. It's rolling on Facebook. Okay, it's rolling on Facebook. We just aren't seeing it on our screen. Okay, so that's no problem. That's fine. Some technical glitch, I guess. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I'll have to look at my other device to see your text, but we're going to open the phone lines to all of you and all that in just a short order after we have some things to say. So, Ms. Green, I've been getting calls and texts all day. People on different islands where the water is not working, the electricity is not working. All kinds of stuff is really going on. I think because of my background, I see me. But you know, how are we going to survive as a country? I've said the last time we went live, I showed the definition of a failed state, and I'm going to start us here, and I'm going to let you start us out. The definition of a failed state is this. This is a failed state. And that sounds very much like the Bahamas, I'm sorry to say. But a failed state is a country whose government is considered to have failed at some of its basic responsibilities. For example, keeping the legal system working correctly and providing public services, that is, electricity, water, education, hospitals, etc. I mean, if this doesn't describe the Bahamas, I don't know what does. I really can't say what does. All right. So, Ms. Green, I've been getting calls and texts. You've been getting calls and texts. I mean, how do you feel about what's going on in the country today?
I have definitely been receiving my fair share of the calls as well as the text messages from both the old and the young. And these
Oops.
what we're going through and what we're experiencing in the country is no surprise to me at all. I am old enough to realize since I began to vote, I had the opportunity to vote for both parties. I had the opportunity to vote for the PLP. I had the opportunity to vote for the FNM. And it took me basically 2 to 3 elections to realize that both of these parties are the same. Right now in Abaco, we're receiving calls concerning the clinic. I understand that the clinic is functioning without the basic necessity, which is water. Patients have to be on standby. Small procedures are being placed on hold because we don't have water. Okay, and I think that's a humanitarian issue against the people, against our people, against us. Something as basic as water, our government cannot provide efficiently. And then you have our people on the other family islands who are suffering for long-term period of power outages, water disconnection. Lincoln, Mr. Bean, we live in the 21st century. We are a small nation, but our resource is on a massive scale. There is no need that this country should be functioning in the way that it is functioning. Our parents and our great-great-grandparents have given both government, the PLP and the FNM, more than 50 years to get our country to a way where it can be sustainable for the future, for the generations to come. Why are we still going round in circles? We're at the point now, Mr. Bean, we cannot blame the PLP any longer, and we cannot blame the FNM any longer. We have been provided with information. We are in the stage and in the age of information. We must know better, and if we know better, we should do better. But I have been receiving calls, Mr. Bean, to the point where we cannot help everyone individual. We can't. It's humanly impossible. You know, sometimes when I listen to you on the phone, you're taking calls after calls after calls. It gets very overwhelming. It gets very overwhelming. The only way that I can see we win as a people is for us to come together, because all of our problems and all of our national issues, it's now currently at all of the doorstep of each Bahamian. Even Bahamians who don't even have a doorstep, Lincoln, because we have many Bahamians in this country,
Wow.
Single moms who are homeless. This is paradise, a land of numerous wealth, natural resources. Our natural resources is the nation's currency. We need proper leadership. We need a whole entire system recall. But
yeah, and that's what we plan on doing.
The calls, the messages from every single island around the Bahamas, the echoes are the same. And the only way we're going to change this and bridge the gap to head over into a new Bahamas is for our people to change their mindset, to truly look at and see who who the enemy is, because the enemy of this country does not love the Bahamian people for what they are putting our people through. This is some serious gentrification going on here, Mr. Bean. We are being replaced right before our eyes. Check out the newspapers. Check out the businesses, the jobs, the hospital, the schools. There is no new age infrastructure. There is nothing, and we celebrate. What is there to celebrate?
Everyone has something to celebrate except for genuine Bahamians in this country. Before we go on, because I wanted to show that video that a PLP troll sent out of the airport. I wanted us to break that down. I thought it was one of the funniest things that I've seen. It shows this government for who they truly are. But before we do that, I wanted to show something that is truly treasonous and illegal, and it's a crime, and it should have been dealt with, but it won't be dealt with under this administration. This right here that you're about to see is the Haitian Flag Day, and they're flying Haitian flags, and it's illegal to fly any other flag in this country without flying a Bahamian flag of the same size or bigger, and not flying those flags higher than a Bahamian flag. And as you can see, they are flying only their flag, and that's illegal. And it should not happen in this country. Watch this.
It's the worst mistake you ever made in your life. So when you carry their feelings, it's not the girl ever get dead tonight. And them never know not because you saw without the fight. Leave the dream.
There is no Bahamian flag present, and this is illegal. I see one little decoration in front there with Bahamian colors. That's not a Bahamian flag. But there's no Bahamian flags present, and that is illegal. And that should not happen in our nation. And we have to wake up, and we can't let this happen in our country. All right. You might not respect your country, but I can tell you, they respect theirs, and America respects theirs. Canada respects theirs. Every other country respects their nation. It's like we have no identity, and we are discouraged from having an identity, even believing in the Bahamas and Bahamians. How do you feel when you see that, Ms. Green?
I am livid. I think it was about 2 years ago when we went to Parliament, and in the square, I think the house was actually in session, and I noticed that the Bahamian flag was not flying in Parliament in the square, and I said to myself, where is the flag? Because the flag, like I said, I am a true patriot of this country. I love my country. So something like that caught my attention immediately. Yeah. The flags are no longer flying at certain ports of entry. The flags are not flying to certain strategic places where it should be flown. Some police stations aren't flying the flag, public offices, clinics. We woke up one day, I don't know about the other rest of Bahamians, and I realized that my flag was not there. And that sent a trigger. Wow. That sent a trigger. Mr. Bean, I don't think our people truly understand what is going on in our country. We tend to repeat history. There is nothing new under the sun. We tend to repeat history or we learn from it. The most important thing is knowing history as far back as we can take it. Before we were here, the Arawaks were here. The Arawaks were a welcoming, hospitable people, very accepting people. But look what happened to them, Mr. Bean. They became a memory, a history, vanish, no trace, hardly any artifacts. Nothing. They were wiped away from these same Bahama Islands. And here we are, repeating the exact same thing. History has a way of repeating itself.
Wow, that's amazing, because it's interesting because the Caribs were from Hispaniola, that island where Dominican Republic and Haiti is. So that was the Caribs, and they still have Caribs living there. Actually, it's a small group of people, but that's where the Caribs are from. They were the aggressors, and the Lucayans, etc., were from the Bahamas, and they were the ones that got invaded and taken over, etc. And you're right, history seems to be repeating itself. Because we're allowing it to happen. Now, I played a video on my previous live, 2 lives ago, and you can go look for it, Bahamas, where I talked about Fiji, the country known as Fiji. They're an archipelago just like us. And I showed their history. The British was in charge of them. And what the British did was the British brought in foreign labor to do all the manual labor, some stuff the locals didn't want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And they brought them in they brought Indians in to be the manual labor, and that was pretty interesting that they did that. It was similar to what happened here in the Bahamas. Foreign labor is being brought in to do the manual labor, and what happened is over time they increased in population until the population was very similar to that of the locals, and this is where the problem came in. The locals, it was 50-50, and so it was 50% foreigner and it was 50% locals, and people at the time didn't see a problem with this. They were like, the people just coming here to work, they're not gonna do anything. They just want a job. They're trying to survive. They're trying to take care of their families, et cetera, et cetera. And this is what happened. Their population increased to 50-50. And guess what happened after that? I think you know what happened. Because their population was 50-50, they were playing the politicians up to this time, both of the other parties. They were playing them back and forward. But when they got to 50-50, they put their own candidate there, someone of Indian descent. And the locals were busy fighting between their old parties. Like in the Bahamas, I'm PLP, I'm FNM, I'm PLP, I'm FNM. And they split their votes. So they were divided. And all the Indians voted for their people. It's in Fiji, go look it up. And when they voted for their people, that was in 1987, they became the government. And then they started giving everything away to the foreigners. They started pushing everything to the foreigners, selling all of their beautiful beaches, companies, everything started going to the foreigners and to themselves and to Indians. And then the locals realized, oh my God, we weren't together, and they took advantage of us. They were just the labor. When did this happen? Eventually, they were getting all the contracts, and they were able to buy up all the houses, and they had all the strength. And they took the government in Fiji. And so what had to happen was the people of Fiji did a coup, and they had to take their country back because they weren't listening to the activists of the day. There were activists telling them, like, we are being outnumbered. Like, y'all literally have to do something. Y'all have to wake up. We're being outnumbered. What are you going to do? Don't let these people get over us. And they didn't listen. They're like, oh, you're just xenophobic. And the xenophobic word was flying around in Fiji. And then they had to do a coup. They had a coup in 1987 to take their government back. The Indians eventually took back over, and then they had to have another coup. They had 2 coups in 1987 and 2 coups since then because the Indians keep creeping back in. I think the same and similar, we're going in action. People say the Chinese are here, Jamaicans are here, et cetera, but they're not trying to intervene in our politics. That's the difference. They're not trying to replace us. They're trying to come out of our economy. Big difference.
Mr. Bain, as it relates to
Yeah.
when you say that the Chinese or the Jamaican are not trying to infiltrate our politics, the way I look at it, people don't do things for. I personally believe it. This is my belief. This is my view. The Chinese are helping the Haitian population here as it relates to work and businesses and all of that. They're not just doing that for anything. They're not doing that for anything. They're working together. It seems like whatever foreign nation comes here, they all work together. And basically that's like that anywhere, everywhere you go. You go somewhere, you see someone like you, same culture, we get together and we come together, we work together. But unfortunately for us, there is a large population here. There is a large population here. But for me, Mr. Bain, as a Bahamian citizen and a registered voter, this is the platform that I am speaking from. I'm speaking from multiple platforms. I'm speaking from a platform of being a Bahamian citizen who is a registered voter. I'm speaking from a platform of being a parent. I'm speaking from a platform of politics. And there is no way whatsoever, even as an activist, lobbying for policies, lobbying for the government to do what's right in this country. There is no way that we can avoid the political calling or the political side of this. No matter what we do, we are fighting a system, a government that does not have the people's best interests at heart. The FNM and the PLP, they are not at all immune to the corruption. Mr. Bain, I personally believe that if the people, our people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, do not vote right, this is going to be our last election. We can tell based on the amount of persons, individual, that is placed in the Tribune for name change. Something is happening. We cannot continue sticking our heads in the sand. Our country needs a complete system recall. We need to change our system. The system of our parents and our parents' parents, that's not working for us right now. But at the end of the day, I don't think nothing was wrong with the system. It's the people who were in place. But we do need to change our system. We do need to move the...
And so we need to change our system, and we have to keep telling them about the system that we want to go into. And the new system, we believe that will work is Island States and city government. We'll talk about that again later. I want to pivot onto this video that a PLP troll did. I mean, they gotta get better quality trolls, because the PLP troll, they always have some social media to be there when they're traveling, and he was filming them while the government, while this scheme to deceive the Bahamian people. And so what happens is the PLP government was in since 2021. They did nothing for Cat Island, and so in March 2020, they decided to break ground. No, they the break ground kings. Break ground on anything, buddy. If they go for lunch, they break ground first. But they broke ground on the new airport in Cat Island because they were criticized heavily because of it. And again, almost 3 years in, nothing, no airport. And so they want to start making it look like they're doing something. That's why they had this thing with the hospital, making it seem like they're going to be bringing a hospital. Now we come to find out, nope, that hospital is going to take at least 3 years to build. And so that's not going to be a campaign promise. That's an epic fail by the government. And so you can't use that to say you did. And it coming. Things take time. No. This 3 years in. And so that hospital could have been almost finished. You just procrastinated.
We're talking about the airport?
Yeah, so I just was giving an example of how they are bringing up stuff because they have accomplished nothing. So they are bringing up flam. They're faking to make it seem like they're doing something. So the hospital was one thing they did. The big announcement with the hotel, remember that was first. The hotel is sold. Yeah, spot on the shoulder, big party, big celebration, spend that money. And then it wasn't sold. Twice they did that. Now the hospital is not going to be complete before election. So that's another big fail. It's an embarrassment. And now they're bringing up this airport in Cat Island. And so again,
Mr. Bain,
they had to.
The mere fact that they did groundbreaking, I think a year, 2 months ago, they did groundbreaking for it. Obviously, a budget was set aside for this project.
I have no idea. I have not seen the budget.
Okay. Well, in order to pay the workers and buy the materials, a budget must have been set aside. And this is one of the issues we as Bahamians should have in this country. The government tends to do a lot of groundbreaking on projects that a budget would have been set for. 3-4 years later, the project is still pending. What happens to the money? What happens to the taxpayers' money? We have a lot of groundbreaking projects that have started but have not been completed. Yet, no one is being held accountable.
Yes. And I'm going to play this video for them. Let me play this video for them so they can see. I was trying to line it up for them. The government was failing to do anything. So now they're coming with this flim-flam. Look at what we're doing with this airport. They literally look like they went there and rushed and put up one wall just to the front. So the side walls and the back wall is not up. They went and put up a portion of the front and to make so they could do the camera angles from there so people would think the whole building is being put up, because that's how you build a house. You build the whole thing, all right? But only the front wall they put up. And you can see them there. You can hear Dr. Daval doing most of the talking. So ignore the narrator, the person with the camera. Ignore him. He's a troll. But listen to Dr. Daval as he is putting this whole plot together. So Daval is the new PLP PR troll, helping them to do their darkness. That's Dr. Daval, Michael Daval, the Minister of Health. And so he is telling them, okay, we're just gonna stage it, all right? We can flam this through. We can do a little fake thing. You got the workers here. Put the fellas there. Say just do something. Just move. Make it look like you're doing something. And you can hear him saying this on the video. And we have to do it from this angle. You have to do it from this angle because there's only one portion of a wall up in the front. I mean, this is so beyond embarrassing. But this shows this PR government to a T. All they do is party and flam. So I'm going to play this video for you. Enjoy, read it. There's some text on the screen. Read it, and you will see exactly what is going on. But listen carefully to Dr. Daval, and you could hear that they are just faking this whole thing, knowing they have no intention to do nothing.
No.
Watch, this is a year and 2 months later, and all they did was rush and put the front wall so they could come and say, look, see, airport coming. Look at all the PRP is accomplishing. All right. A hotel about to be sold. Airport is coming. A hospital about to be built. They still talking about what they are going to do 3 years in. Come on. Watch this.
Someone got me over there. Let's stage it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Prime Minister walking in on site. This is the site.
Just move like you're doing something. But I need you all in the shot.
Okay, see that? Prime Minister, Minister LaRoda, Minister of Health is on the site at New Bight Cat Island, showing the progress that we've got. Also right now, I'm going to show you, that's Bishop, who is the general contractor. He is explaining to the Prime Minister as we speak on the progress and the movement of what's going on here in New Bight Cat Island. in the legendary New Age Terminal Building in Cat Island. In Cat Island. The workers are here. Yes.
Take the shot like this. Don't worry, you got the picture.
Okay. There you go.
No pose, no pose.
We are doing it. Yes. Hear the noise of the workers. The thing is being informed with the minister. Both ministers are here with him. Yeah. Look at that. Jesus, look at this. And God good?
Send that to me. Let me put a poster on that.
Good. Good.
Hey, Curly.
How do you feel when you watch that you watched just now?
Well, for me, Mr. Bean, I don't even take these things as a joke anymore. This is basically the Progressive Liberal Party led by Philip Brave Davis and their chairman, Mr. Frederick Mitchell, that turns around and calls the Bahamian people a coalition of idiots. What I have just seen by the sitting government, I can't even take it as a joke because I am highly, highly insulted that they went out there to stage, to do a video for a PR stunt, to then come back and make a report to the Bahamian people with some BS. This is a time of exposure. Had that working agent of the PLP not did that big oops, we would have never knew what was happening behind the scene. But I am so, and I hope the rest of our people feel the same way. The mere fact, Mr. Bean, that they think the Bahamian people are stupid and walking around with brown paper bag over their heads, I find that highly insulting. I don't know how the rest of our people feel, but we gotta get past laughing now. It's not a joke.
Let's watch it one more time and let's break this down for persons as we watch it. I'll put it back on the screen. It's right there. And so that's the groundbreaking. So a year and 2 months later, they decided to fake a PR stunt.
Someone got me over there. Let's stage it.
That's the Prime Minister there. Prime Minister.
Prime Minister walking in on site. Okay, see that? Prime Minister, Minister Laroda, Minister of Health is on the site at New Bight, Cat Island, showing the progress that we've got.
It has to come from this way. See him pointing? And you have to do the shot from the front because then they
also right now I'm going to show you that's Bishop, who is the general contractor. He is explaining to the Prime Minister as we speak on the progress and the move.
So the narrator is saying that the bishop is explaining to the Prime Minister on the progress. No, he's not. He's getting instructions from Dr. Davila on where to pull to do. He's telling they're telling him where to stand and what to do. Listen, make it look like you're doing some work. Yeah, do that drill for a second, and that's all doing.
Movement of what's going on here in New Bight, Cat Island, in the legendary.
So talk to the bishop, talk to him as you're looking this way, as we take the picture. They're like staging this whole thing. I mean, this is so beyond ridiculous. All right, let's keep going.
New Age Terminal Building in Cat Island. In Cat Island. The workers are here. Yes.
Take the shot like this. Don't worry, you got the picture.
Okay. There you go.
No pose, no pose.
We are doing it. Yes. Hear the noise of the workers. The thing is being informed with the minister. Both ministers are here with him. Yeah. Look at that. Jesus, look at this.
Now
And God good?
Look at this now.
Let me put a post
He's
on.
showing the
Look at that.
building.
Jesus, look at this.
Look at this.
And God good?
Portion of the water.
Let me put a poster on that.
Jesus, look at this. And God good?
Let me put a poster.
Yeah. Look at that. Jesus, look at this.
And you can hear Dr. David.
And God good?
Let me put a poster on that.
Good. Good.
Hey, Curly.
Wow.
Lincoln, before you start,
And they feel like they're so smart.
before you start, these leaders, these government leaders, and I am going to call both the PLP and the FNM, because even though the FNM is not in the government seat, they are the opposition. They are supposed to be opposing on behalf of the people. What drives me mad is that these officials are pretending. They are playing government. They are pretending to govern the country. They are pretending to deal with national issues without real solutions, just tossing crumbs, doing photo ops, pretending to be governing, pretending to be coming to the needs of the Bahamian people. This is something we should not accept. For every problem, and this is what they taught us, for every problem, there is a solution. There is a solution. My God, Mr. Bean, a child went missing 3-4 days ago. And the Marcos app, very ineffective. There is not even a photo. The description
There is
given,
no Marcos app. There is no Marcos app. I just want to make that clear. They spent millions on a Marcos app, and app never came out. What they have is a Marcos alert. Every single phone company, cell phone company, has the feature to be able to send alerts directly to your phone. That's not the Marcos app. I was in negotiations with the government to do a Marcos app for them. I was willing to give it to them, where you could actually send out the actual picture of the child to each person's phone, a real description, what's going on, where they were last seen, etc., a map so you could see critical points, a real app that we're going to do for them. And they said that they had spent a lot. When you saw that Marcos alert that went out, so the Marcos app was paid for, but we never got it. That's just like the drones that we never got and other things we never got. All right. When you look at that description, how is it going to help you find that missing child?
that Marcos alert is a reminder of what they are doing right now in that photo op, in that video, that photo op. They are playing with the lives, the future of this country. The blood, there's so much blood that has been spilled, Mr. Bean. The blood is on the hands of Parliament. The blood is on the hands of these government leaders because they are pretending to govern the people. They are playing the family islands. Our Bahamian families, citizens on the family islands are suffering because we don't have basic necessities, medical care, health care, the necessities, water, proper lighting. Where are we? Where are we? They are pretending to govern. We are real people and we demand real governance. But guess what? We are not demanding it anymore. We are going to take it. We are going to show them how a country should be run and in the best interest of the people. This is
And I want to give my, I want us to pray for that family and what's going on. A lot of young people are going missing. A lot of Bahamians are going missing lately. This has never been our culture. This is the culture of another country that is invading us, but a lot are going missing now. And I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the people smuggling and the harvesting of organs and stuff that's going on. I'm not saying that has anything to do with this particular case, but there seems to be a lot of missing persons recently, and I think under the radar. It's like it's not being taken seriously. And we have to take this seriously when any Bahamian is disadvantaged or goes missing. I want to pivot now to crime since we brought that up. And I played a video of the Commissioner of Police talking about what happened in Palmdale today. And I'm going to use that to talk about crime for a second, because I think based on what the commissioner is saying there, the commissioner should basically step down and turn it over to a younger generation who can get it done. All right. I love you, Commissioner. Thanks for all of your years of service. But no one should be able to do a robbery in Palmdale and get away. That should be impossible. That's a big commercial area, one of the biggest commercial areas in our country. And so there should have been police protection there, and it should be almost impossible to get away because there's only a few routes you could use to get away, and then there's traffic. You can hardly speed out of there unless you have a motorbike. But let's listen to the Commissioner of Police while we dissect what he's saying. I played the video earlier, so I'm going to talk through this video while he's talking to show you exactly what's going on here. It's depressing that these people are partying and balling and living their best life while we continue to suffer. All right. And there's no solutions coming from the government. And there are some people out there just saying, oh, yeah, but the Brave is doing a good job. Good job with what? So let's go to the man who Brave appointed and paid a lot of money in settlements of our own tax money. And let's hear what he has to say about the crime.
Nanda, can you explain what took place here at Lowe's Pharmacy this afternoon?
Yes, shortly after 1 p.m. this afternoon, two security officers from a private security firm, they were about to enter Lowe's Pharmacy. At the time, they were in possession of 2 deposit bag that was collected from another business establishment.
Well, this video is pausing. Let's give it a sec, see if it's gonna cooperate. Let's go. Come on, Clayton, you can do it. Okay, let's get that off there. Let's try it again. I really want you to hear this. Okay, I guess it's being interfered with. Anytime we start to talk about these kinds of things, they interfere with the feed. And I think that's what's happening now. Yep, it's definitely what's happening now. So that video isn't going to play, but we're still going to be able to talk. I guess some of you would have seen this video or go and see the video for yourselves. So basically what Clayton is saying is that crime is not the police. Crime is us. That's what he's saying. Crime isn't the police. But guess what? If crime goes down, wouldn't they want to take the credit? They're going to say it's because of them. Mm-hmm. But when crime goes up, they don't want to blame. You know, so that's a ridiculous excuse.
This, Mr. Bean, automatically it goes to show that we really have never had leaders in this country. Whenever there's a mess up, leaders should take full, total responsibility. Yeah. Responsibility. If you cannot meet the demands of what that position entails, you need to be defunded, removed, or fired. Simple. We're not funding government officials. We're not paying you with the taxpayers' money for you to come and give us excuses. We don't need a book of excuses. We need results. And in the New Bahamas, that is what we plan on giving our people. Results.
Yeah. And so when the Lakers didn't win the championship, so what happened? Their coach was fired. And so a lot of coaches are being fired right now. There's no excuse. And the new coach can't come in and talk about what the last coach didn't do or did do. Or, you have to show results. And that's what we need. We need accountability in this country. And so I met with the commissioner myself, and our team was there. All of us met with the commissioner of police. They gave us a tour of the police force. They told us what's going on in the country. And I gave them solutions for crime. And he said that they were brilliant solutions and they were going to see how they could put some of them in play. One of them was a policing strategy where it's the way you monitor the communities. All of our organized, structured communities have just a back entrance and a front entrance. Some only have one way in and out, or two ways in and out. And so easy to police our communities, except the organic ones like the Grove and Beantown, where there's so many ways in and out. But there's still ways that you could police those communities. I told them that you could have one police officer in a car instead of two, the way they do in the US. So a police officer in a car. And you have one, for example, I'll use Elizabeth Estates for an example. You could have one to the front area that you could enter by the police station, and one to the back entrance in a car, and another patrolling on the inside in a car. Because you have one police officer per car, now you have more cars and more manpower out there instead of two police officers piled up in one car. All right. And so if something happens in Elizabeth Estate, when you spot shot ahead, the gun go off, your CCTV can show you what's going on, and the drones can be in the air to target that area because of what the spot shot just showed you. And they have to go to the front or the back entrance. I mean, this is elementary. All right. People who do crimes want to get away, Miss Green. And if they can't get away, they're not going to do crimes. It's simple as that. And so the minute they do that crime, they can't get away because now the police close in on them. The way they do it in the States, they close in on you. All right. And that should have happened in Palmdale. Palmdale has jewelry stores, it has banks, it has all of this big commercial stuff going on. All right. Wholesale distributors, etc. You should have police officers patrolling that area. They used to have a guy called Robocop, a light-skinned guy, used to walk around with a machine gun. And his presence alone deterred a lot of things from happening there. So they didn't have robberies and kind of stuff in there because you didn't know where Robocop was. And he was on foot. And if they have the proper patrols in that area, proper patrols in the downtown area, proper patrols in the area of the mall and in our neighborhoods, there won't be any crime. This is a small country. This is a small island. There's no way that criminals should be getting away with CCTV and all this other technology. And if you are policing properly, it's like they want them to get away. It makes no sense. And then you're going to come and do a video blaming society. We need real solutions. How do you feel, Ms. Green?
It seems like they're objective because there has to be some type of end game. And it seems like their objective is aimed at destabilizing our country. That's how it seems.
I mean, what I just said is elementary.
But Mr. Bean, like I said, there is always a solution to every problem. There is always a solution to the problem. And if the leaders of this country wants to find a solution, they can. But obviously, they choose not to, or they can't. That means they needs to be removed. They needs to be removed. We have no confidence in our commissioner. I have no confidence in my commissioner. You know, when I first sat down and I spoke to them, I listened and I felt everything that they were saying. But looking at what is happening on the streets versus the words that came from them, it's not matching up, Mr. Bean, because again, for every problem, there is a solution. So for example, when was the last time we heard the FNM or the PLP table lobby it for new policies? Because that's the only way we're going to change certain situations in our country. Like I always say, it's policies that directs the trajectory of where we are going to go as a people. There are no policy discussions. There are no policy discussions from the FNM. They are not lobbying for anything on behalf of the Bahamian people. And for me, that is sickening. That is sickening. Yeah. You have third world countries around the world that are rising, surpassing this country. We need to start having real governmental conversation. We need to have policy discussions. We need to get up every day, figuring out how we are going to make the lives of the Bahamian people comfortable in this country. It seems like there's already a playbook written against our people, and our people must wake up and realize this.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna open the phone line so we continue our conversation. I'm gonna open the phone line so persons can call in and be a part of this conversation. If they like. The phone line is 803-5995. 803-5995 is the number. So call us in and tell us what you think. Talk about BC waterworks and all this stuff now, and there are solutions for these things. So we're gonna continue with this conversation, but I want to hear from you. What's going on in your neck of the woods? How do you feel about all the stuff that's going on? The Bahamas is a failed state. Let me make sure that this is not on silent. Okay, perfect. This is ready to go. All right. So let us know how you feel about what's going on in your country, in your neck of the woods. Just want to make sure the lines are open. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. They are open and ready to go. 803-5995, 803-5995 is the number. And so after all this time, after all these years, they can't get the electricity grid. Every summer it goes down. And I showed you in my last live that some countries that did 25 megawatts of power, which is what BC says they need right now. That's anywhere from 25 million to, we see 30, most of them paid 30 million or so for it. Let's go to phone lines. Good evening, you're live.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Bain and Ms. Green. How are you?
Awesome, man.
Good evening.
Listen, let me, there's two things here I want to touch. Number one, when we're talking about crime is a very easy problem to solve. Number one, the only thing can defeat lawlessness is law, and law be carried out effectively. Now, I understood that my belief is that the security officer with the robbery today in Palmdale, I saw everybody came out because it was a Seymour. I think it was the security officer who got shot with the Seymour.
Yes.
The reservist commissioner brother. But
Stephen Seymour's brother.
His brother, yeah. Stephen Seymour's brother. I want to know who owns the security company, who runs that company. Yeah, okay. On the other hand, we have a leader, as Ms. Green has said. We don't have real, genuine leaders who love this country and who love the Bahamian people.
That is correct.
For 51 years. And we really need to get this into the textile of the Bahamian people. I am calling on all organic seed Bahamians who love this country. Forget about politics, but let's come together. We love this country. If you say PLP and you say you're a seed organic Bahamian, then vote as a seed organic Bahamian. And if you vote as a seed organic Bahamian, you will not vote PLP. You will not vote FNM. You will vote to save this country because this country is in trouble. Another thing is that when we talk about what happened in Cat Island there, the scam, that each photo, what disturbs me most of all, my listening audience and Mr. Dan and Ms. Green, is that Anthony Roca is the so-called bishop in the Church of God of Prophecy. And for him to be a part of a stage set up
wow.
to try to deceive the class of simple-minded people. And you suppose he's supposed to have the Spirit of God in him and read along with that. That
Wow.
is very serious thing. Okay? Now everybody knows Buster. That's my friend. But I'm not a compromiser to wrong. And if you say that you have the Spirit of God inside of you, I am expecting for you, that individual, to do that which is right. And do not be a part of a corrupt situation. But you see, Mr. Bain and Ms. Gray in the Bahamas, it is that the power of money. You see, this is the thing. We understand the world system is money. And one of the things, the Bible speaks about three powerful truths about money. One, the power of money is answer all things. Number two, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And all evil stems from the love of money. And number three, money is the defense. After you have done the evil, money can defend you, buy out the judge, buy the police out, buy out witnesses, and guess what? And get the best lawyer to defend you. That's the power of money. So, the only thing that money is afraid of anyone, any man or woman who has integrity. Integrity is the one that defeats corruption.
Yeah.
Where there is no integrity, there will be no character of the individual or the company. And where there is no character, there will be no godly principles. And so where we are today, my brothers and sisters, and Mr. Bain, let me say this to both of y'all. Y'all are hard-working people. And let me say this to you. Bahamian is changing every day. And I'm looking forward, Ms. Green, to walk with you in Carmichael Road. This is my area when you do the next walkabout, or the few walkabout. So God bless y'all and have a beautiful evening.
Thank you too, man. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. I just want to say, he talked about integrity. And, you know, I had a conversation with a young man who was a leader of one of the other, what do you call them, third parties. And he, two of them, he was in two of the third parties. And we saw him recently in a picture where him and other third-party persons took pictures with Pintard. And so me and him had a conversation. I think it was Saturday, and then we had another conversation today. And, you know, and I said, what makes y'all look bad is that y'all have been speaking out against the evils of the FNM. Y'all said it was the problem was endemic. It doesn't matter who leads. The problem is the system of the FNM is corrupt. Telling the Bahamian people that for all these years. And so for them to now see y'all taking a picture, because he was, you know, kind of disturbed at how Bahamians were insulting them because they took a picture with Pintard. And, you know, he said, well, those people don't pay my bills, so I'm not worried about that. So I guess that's to say that, what, you're getting money to do this? I don't know what that is to say. But I said, well, Pintard shouldn't be paying your bills either. And I said, but he said, that's true. But you have been fighting the FNM and the PLP all these years, and for them to now see you there taking pictures with them, that shows that you lack integrity, that you weren't serious about what you were fighting for all this time. And he said to me, his answer was interesting. He said, I'm not supporting Pintard. He said, I was just trying to make sure minutes don't get in. I was like, you serious? I said, but now people see you. He said, I didn't join the FNM. I was just there at the Pintard event to make sure minutes don't get in. And my thing was, let me take the call and then I'll tell you, you know, what the conversation was like, because it's disturbing to me to continuously seeing persons who are part of third parties sell their souls. We go to the phone line. Good evening, you're live.
What up, Lincoln?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm Miss Green.
Good evening.
Hello? Yeah. Thank you. No matter what you say, there's Freeport in the building.
Yes.
No matter what you say, but I mean by what you say, these people down on this side, it's like they need a rebooting. Believe me when I tell you that. They need a rebooting. Because if you're listening to the rhetoric, we're coming from the Grand Bahama, especially people in Grand Bahama.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still got people who represent us in Nassau and the House. But they know what's going on in Grand Bahama. But then they still spew mess like Grand Bahama's doing. What is really want me drive? Like, it just drives me up the wall. The people like the lady who representing the PLP, Ginger Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
How much times you can put a shovel in the same ground, talking about you broken ground.
Rigging ground.
Go around all of these places where they broken. The bush come them up now.
Wow.
The people who was there, they gone. See, I in Freeport. This was my neighbor stringers, 100 letter. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel what you were saying because people feel what they don't understand. I can say that slowly. People feel what they don't understand. You fighting for a party constitution. Listen to all of them. I sitting back and I listen to all of them. Your two message, so different because one set of people fighting for country, the next set of people getting ready for convention. Think about what I just said.
Mm.
They hold a constitution over our constitution in this country. And then you got these people, they will fight for this man. I give you a story and I want you to marinate on what I can say.
Mm-hmm.
And if I lie, I want Mr. Pentard say, or whoever his troll say, this man lied. Mr. Pentard, the house that he living in right now, in Freeport, Grand Bahama, over the bridge, next to the canal, off to the canal.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wayne, you know exactly who you are. So this one, I ain't holding my tongue on this one. That house came from one of my best friend, Wayne. He bought it from Mr. Wayne. You know how Pentard buy that house?
Oh.
You can say allegedly, I ain't saying it. And let me tell you the truth. So my mother and another thing too. I'll put my name out there and I in Freeport, Grand Bahama. This ain't got nothing to do with Mr. Lincoln being. So you could find me if you want to find me. He was short. Hear me clearly. The leader of the party was short $50 or $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this man. I only rolled with my boy there. You know, he picked up the phone and he called this one and that one and this one and that one. And that money come out just like that.
Mm.
That told me right back. And he buy my boy house with the guest quarters on the side where you got the roundabout Cocasac. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can bounce from this to another thing.
No, but who did he call?
I wouldn't know who he called, but he said I'm gonna have to get this money. He pulled 10 grand from this one. I just trying to say these fellas picking up the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and when they hang up the phone, the money in hand.
Yeah.
I still fighting with my house from Doreen. How long Doreen been gone, Mr. Bean? See, I can talk. Poor people struggle because I always tell them, but you check your Bible, you read it. Poor people will always be rich people problem. Always.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And like they say, power will always lie in the people. And let me show you what's going on in Freeport. When they come down here, that place, West End,
Mm-hmm.
you know why we have no love for that side? Notice when you come here, West End in the back, for those who don't know Freeport like that, it is almost like a segregated state. You know it, I know it. You've been here, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a segregated state. You know who's keep West End afloat?
Oh.
And who don't like it, bury inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Freeport is keep West End state because every weekend we go down there and spend money.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the opportunity. I also say this. You listen to the people, and I can speak for, I don't know how Nassau road, but if you listen to the people right now who talking, they in this fight with Menace and Pitta, let's people of the Bahamas, you cannot forget what Menace did to us. If you all was feeling it in Nassau, Freeport, Nabucco was below that. Do you know? Let me take this deeper because y'all.
But Pentard was a part of the cabinet, and he didn't.
You know they had to find him, and the white boy was fighting for the immigrants. Him and the lady from Bamboo Shop, Pentard, the lady from Bamboo Shop, oh Lord, the white boy with his lawyer for them, for the Haitians, them and them. What do you mean?
Fred Smith.
They had the farm from here for Minas. You understand what I'm trying to say?
You say they had the farm for minutes?
Yeah, they don't have it no more. Yeah, the farm with farm chicken.
Right.
All of them was all the, listen, man, you know, I trying to tell you, Fred Smith up no Pintard. Follow the money and you find Pintard face. Mentor Menace right now, we will not forget. Let me tell you, the housing supply, you know, they are that way. You could get the supply and they come in free. My house get damaged. I still fighting to try to get that up. You know, you can't, they take the you know, you could bring it in free. They take that off. So now if you come in Freeport now, you bring in your supplies. I have to bring in the same cost which you would the whole Bahamas bring it in. That ain't fair to Freeport and Abaco.
Yeah, Brave did that.
And they making it sound like everything is all right, but they breaking Freeport. If he a flight from they go to domestic to put it in Nassau. If he catch a flight, he flying from out of a container. For those who thinking Freeport off the chin, so let's break the chin and show them what we flying from out of a container.
Yeah.
And landing at a garbage pit.
Yeah.
West End, how you it's voicing up because even those who coming up, the building them shut down, and there's a grass wall. There's a grass wall in the Bahamas. I don't know if it's in Nassau yet. What I mean by that is you got now almost the Bahamians, they have something in Freeport where the port authorities say, okay, for you to cut grass or whatever, you have to come in and get a license. And if you get a license, you know that big kit you have to put on the back of your truck to pull your stuff, or you have to have an enclosed vehicle. So what they doing in Freeport are the Haitians. I call it, and call me what you want, call me. But you ain't gonna say I ain't a Bahamian. That's real talk. And right now in these close-up container, you got entrepreneurs, call themselves entrepreneurs with no papers, no registration. The Haitians were just coming in, waiting for these fellas. No Bahamians, this is how you get enforced. So, and I opening up your third eye to that. You understand what I'm trying to say, Mr. Bean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. They know their party constitution. Crazy. You've been to my door the other day talking about cocoa. Did I ask you for any food? I all right, I feel. I need roof and supply, cement, sheetrock. You understand what I'm trying to say? Why everything, when it comes to Bahamians, y'all got to go to the lowest of the lowest and then walk around. That's why what happened in Cat Island, you think y'all got to go back like this. You can't to flip these people. You got to show these people. To flip them, you have to show them because what you're saying right now, they can all turn back like, oh, he jealous because Woodbread. Listen, man, it's 2024. China overtake the States. So those who don't know, Qatar is the people who live in the Qatar is the most richest set of people.
Yeah.
If you build roads, that's the government duty. That is nothing to sit on the sideline, cheer about, to throw up your pump up because when people come in here, we label this as paradise. No. When you come to the Bahamas, you in reverse. People just like it because it don't have the traffic, it don't have the air pollution, it don't have where people watering you. They can just kick their foot in the sun. And then when they leave from here, they go back to the concrete jungle. There's nothing paradise about a backward island that nothing works. How do you feel with did you catch the message of the people in the Lucha who did not, the toilets didn't make it, right?
Wow.
That didn't make it. There's a lot of insults you can throw to Brave Davis, and we can call him out on his record.
Yeah.
And I have over 5,000 followers. I call him out on his record because he's been in the house longer than I was alive.
Wow.
You understand? That's Mr. Brave, Pintard, and Menace. I leave on this. We will not forget what you've done. I don't care who put you there. I don't care how much you tore up with this and that. And even when they interview over, it's still me. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm behaving people. Lincoln, and this ain't saying I throw the plug out here, and I can leave this on this. Watch every time when this man come on, along with Mrs. Green, you never, ever hear Lincoln say, me do this and me, no, he'll say you. Listen to people's words, man. Sit down, take a silence. If you miss something, go back on this live. Listen to Mrs. Green. She always compassionate. If somebody will fight for you, Think of them as used to live brother, and somebody's pulling you and your big brother come. You see how calm he make the situation? The units judge these people on their record. Look at those who spotless. These people ain't coming in and say they're picking up what they're doing. There's a vision coming out of their mouth. Why are you only grasping for that? Why are you going to that? And if you keep closing your eyes and you're walking, there's another nation ain't gonna give up on this place until you eradicate it. You all have a beautiful night, man.
Thank you, man. My brother said a mouthful just now. He said a lot of things, and all of it is the truth, and it's what's really going on the ground. And we have to support the COI. I just want to finish what I was saying about the gentleman I was talking to who was a part of these third parties. And, you know, he said he just don't want minister. And I was like, you don't want minister? And he was saying this trying to justify that why he was part of third parties, but now he was seen in a picture with Cassius and them with Pintard. And he was like, no, I'm not F&M. I just don't want minister. And I was like, so you want Pintard there? I said, Pintard is a puppet of Brent Simonette. I said, think about it. Brent Simonette never endorsed any candidate before. All of a sudden, he's endorsing Pintard. That means that no one in politics endorses someone until they get what they want. And so that means that Brent has already sat down with Pintard and said, listen, when you come in, this is what you could do. I can endorse you. You got to do such and such, and this is what you're giving me. And so we'll endorse you. That even from now, because Pintard, he doesn't have a real job. So they would have to take care of him from now. So the gentleman saying that Pintard is able to call these same people and get money to do what he wants. That's how it works. You know, when Ingram took over the F&M as a leader, persons there took care of his livelihood, et cetera, and helped him survive until time for election. Pintard, though, now is the leader of the opposition. So he's getting some salary from that, but not to do real things that he wants to do. And so he can call on Fred Smith. He can call on these kinds of people to get done what he needs to get done. And so that's what's really happening. But I said to the gentleman, I said, Brent Simonette, the Hollow West Coast, the oligarchs, and Fred Smith, they're gonna run this country if you let Pintard get in there. And he was like, oh my God, you just gave me a headache. He said, I didn't think about that. I just saw that I didn't have a problem with Pintard and that I had a problem with ministers locking us down. I said, well, I don't support any of them. But if you let Pintard get in there, he's a puppet. If Fred Smith will be controlling this country. And you know what's going to happen with the immigration, illegal immigration. You know what Fred Smith has been fighting for. Pintard was a part of Save the Base fighting with Fred Smith and them for what they were doing. I said, you know what's going to happen. He's helped Pintard do everything that he has been doing. So these guys are helping Pintard look good in his constituency because that's why they keep you poor. So anything that someone does, you feel that they did the world for you. And so they're doing that so that he can get in, and then they can now control the prime minister. The most powerful person in the country is not the king. It's the kingmaker. And that's what you have to be cognizant of. I'm going to say that to you again. The most powerful person in the country is not the king. It's the kingmaker. Always remember that. And so Brent Simonette is there pushing for his puppet to get in there. And that's more dangerous than even Minutes. Now, we don't want Minutes there either. When I'm saying, yeah, campaigning for Minutes, hell no. I want the F&M and PLP gone. But people need to wake up. And when I said that to him, he said, oh my God, that's true. Ms. Green, how you feel about that?
Over the past few years, watching multiple third parties come in and out, and now to see leaders, persons that were once leaders of third parties, choosing the side that they were battling against on behalf of the Bahamian people. You know, so for example, during the last election, we had many of our supporters reaching out asking, why don't you all team up with this third party, a certain particular third party? Little that they knew, we've already had multiple meetings, giving the Bahamian people what they wanted. Even before the people were asking, we had already made the effort to team up, because a united nation is a strong nation. And we knew that uniting together to combat a certain challenge that was taking place in our country would be in the best interest of the people. But we then realized, Mr. Bean, not everyone who is so there claiming to fight on behalf of the Bahamian people are fighting on behalf of the Bahamian people. And we noticed it as we continued going on in this fight. From the time that we started as Bahamian Evolution, an activist movement, there were also other activist groups, so they're fighting on behalf of the Bahamian people. When the time came for us to come together, to amalgamate, we then realized this one was a puppet of that politician. This one was the puppet of that politician. So my advice to the Bahamian people, listen to the words. Listen to the words that are coming out of these people's mouth. Watch their actions. Your children and the future of this country is depending on you. We cannot continue allowing our ignorance to lead us down the path of destruction. Not everyone who is fighting on your behalf is fighting for the betterment of this country. There are many, many, many puppets in this country being controlled by the puppet masters that wants to stay in control of our economy. Our job as Bahamians is to step into our truth. We need a system recall. We need a constitution reform. We need a Bahamas built by Bahamians for Bahamians. And again, we have nothing against foreigners. We need foreigners to build our country, but we need to structure this country in a sustainable way that is going to benefit our nation and our generations to come. We need to build a strong structure in this country. And we have to be willing to call out our leaders. We have to be willing to call them out. We are such a humble people. But Lincoln, there's a time for peace. There's a time for war. There's a time to plant, and there's a time to pluck up. We have to be intentional in this country about our preservation as a people. We're becoming non-existent, but the devil is a liar. This change is here.
Yeah, an elderly lady called me, reached out to me last week, and she was basically like, she is concerned for our country, and she called to encourage me to continue to stand. She said because all of the third parties, all of their leaders sell out. All of the activists, they sell out. And all of them come with this good talk and try to, get you towards them. And we have people listening to them, and then all of a sudden they sell out. And she was calling to encourage me, said that she was going to pray for my strength and that kind of stuff. And she started listing names, and she started going back and saying how even down to the CDR, they had all this talk, and then they went right back to the PLP and the FNM. They split them up. She was talking about, she even mentioned Cassius and those, and saying how Cassius went under the thumb of Ingram after all those years of talking bad about Ingram. And she gave other examples, over and over of different people. She said even Brandville, she said she had so much hope in Brandville. And now Brandville is, after all this time of attacking the FNM, is now, trying to get people to support the FNM, which is utterly ridiculous. And she also mentioned Komalafe, said, look at her now. Like, how could you tell us all these years to listen to you on what you're saying about the FNM and PLP? And then now you're joining those parties to do what you were telling us to be careful of, to destroy this country, to rape and rob the Bahamian people. That's what you were telling us, and now you're with them. And she was saying that she knows that other third parties are going to form now heading towards election and try to tell you, to come their way. And she's like, but she was like, y'all have been arrested, y'all have sacrificed, y'all have educated baby in public and put your money where your mouth is, and y'all are still staying strong. And she said that is what has moved her from the PLP to now supporting us. And she wanted to say that. That she supports what we're doing, and she is going to continue to support because we didn't stop after election. That they made us offers. They're trying to reach out to Veronica McIver. They've reached out to you, trying to make you offers, Ms. Green. They've reached out to me, offering me millions of dollars and a position right now, and we're not taking it. And I would say the reason. Go ahead.
One of the most disappointing thing for me, since we are calling names, one of the most disappointing thing for me to see leaders of parties abandoning their party for a party that they fought so hard against. When you abandon your party, you not only abandon a name, you abandon the people. There were people on that ship that you brought in on hopes for a new Bahamas. And to have leaders abandon their people because it got so hard, because it got so rough, to go over to the party you claim to have been fighting against for decades. And this is why I told our people, listen to the words, watch their actions. Watch their actions and listen to the words. If you are in a position to create policies, table bills, if you are in the position to do those things and you're not doing it, that speaks a lot. If you're not willing to walk over the line for change, that says a lot. Because we are in a situation in this country where it's do or die. And you have to be willing to take that risk. One of the things I want to add, I am now, of course, campaigning as a prospective candidate. One of my favorite parts of campaigning is when I encounter a Bahamian and the Bahamian would say, oh, I'm a PLP or I'm an FNM. I love those ones. They are my favorite because after I'm done with them, all of a sudden, they remember they are just Bahamians. Bahamians. Before we are anything in this country, we are Bahamians first. There might not be many patriotic Bahamians, but we are Bahamians first.
And so we want to stay strong and continue to stand up and fight for this country. It's failing. 895 is the number you can call in. It's failing. Electricity grid should be working. We have solar, but they won't give us solar because they're benefiting from the oil. I mean, we could say this over and over, and people are still willing to vote PLP and FNM, then complain about their light bills, then complain about the blackouts. You're voting for the blackouts. You're voting for high electricity bills because they're benefiting from your suffering. And this is what we have to get into the heads of people. They are benefiting from you suffering. Everything that benefits them makes you suffer. And so if you keep voting for them, like I see people out there supporting, sitting in that room, supporting Minnesota or supporting Pintard, and I'm like, are y'all serious? Do y'all not see that we've gone nowhere in 50 years? Are y'all serious? Are y'all seriously want to continue in the same cycle over and over? Your children getting bad education, your family members dying in the hospitals. Hot summers, you got to open the windows and get eat from mosquitoes because there's no electricity. You want more of this? You are hitting big potholes in the road. Say again.
We have teachers right now complaining that students are sitting in hot classrooms. This is the summer. And before we even got into the summer, it was summer. And our students, our children are going to the government schools and they're sitting in those classrooms. Imagine you sitting in your office and the power is out. That's just like the power being out, Mr. Bean. Right now, the adults
if the AC goes down in those government buildings, they're gonna go home. You would not build a government building without facilities for HVAC, for air conditioning. Why would you even consider building a school without air conditioning for our children in this day and age? And it's just like normalized for people. We just accept failure. We just accept it. And it's okay for some people. But they've beat us down so much and make us think that we don't deserve nothing. And that getting something is so hard. You ain't got no money for this and that.
No,
and
or like getting something.
No,
or like getting something is like you're begging. This country called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, all that is in it belongs to the Bahamian people. We are not begging for our things. It belongs to the people.
Let's go to lines. Yes. Let's go to the phone lines. Okay, let me see if I could get on there. Okay, trying to get this call. There we go. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Lincoln. Good afternoon, Ms. Green. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Lincoln, I have never met a card-carrying PLP or F&M who wasn't already on or trying to get on the government's TIT.
Yeah.
So never mind those people in the halls and the conventions at the PLP and F&M cheering for their leaders. These are people who are not really interested in Bahamian people. They're interested in their own benefit.
That is correct.
And I want to say I've learned so much from watching your lives over the last year or so. What I learned from watching your lives is that the government is, whether it's the PLP or the F&M, they operate a certain way. Once you are elected to the government, you are part of a group, and the leader determines every single thing that you do.
Yes.
MPs are powerless to do anything in this country. And the prime minister only does what benefits him.
Yes.
I want to say that I met a gentleman who told me of a business associate of his who wanted to buy Alukaya and the two surrounding properties. The then Prime Minister Minnis asked to be a partner in the business. And the investor said, listen, man, we already have our partners. We have all the funding we need. We don't need any more money. Why would we take you on as partner? And the deal didn't go through because, according to this guy, allegedly, if he couldn't get in on the deal, it was going to be no deal. In other words, Freeport could have been on his feet years ago. How many deals were because of the greed of our politicians and the corruption?
Yes.
And furthermore, you would recall back in the 70s and 80s, we had a guy known internationally as Mr. 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to give him 10%. But those days are over. Our politicians now, they don't want an envelope of cash. They want in on the deal. In other words, they want to make dividends year after year, even when they're no longer in government.
Yeah.
And by the way, we don't know, you hear the bickering going on between the government and the court in Grand Bahama. We don't know what's really going on. The court is no doubt aware of how the government has spoiled previous well-wishing investors from investing in Freeport because of their greed.
Yeah.
So these parties, they're going after one another, tipping around the edges, but they're not going to call one another out on the truth of their corruption.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And one last thing, Lincoln, the power of a coalition government is extraordinary for change. Mm-hmm. And I like how you explained that way back when I first started listening to you. I think it's time to. I think this is something you should always go back to, because a lot of people, a lot of Bahamians still don't understand what the coalition government is all about and how that can bring about the change that we want to see. So I want to encourage you to talk about that every chance you get, because our people are still, this is a new idea, and they don't really, many people out there don't really understand why this is so necessary for change, because under the current government system, POPOF and them, we will never get change.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call.
And I want you to listen as you hang up. I want you to see, I'm going to show you some documents that's very powerful. So just watch and listen. So, you know, he talked about the skullduggery of Hubert Minnis wanting to be a part of that, allegedly wanted to be a part of that deal. I say allegedly because I don't know of that particular deal. But I can say that Hubert Minnis was actually a part of the Grand Lucayan. And I did a live showing the documents on that. You know, I've been showing documents. And I feel that the reason he let the government use its money to buy out that hospital was to benefit himself and his people. So the document I'm about to show you is some of the documents. And I have these documents because me and some partners also wanted to buy the Grand Lucayan, and that deal didn't go through. We won the bid. We had the highest bid, but they, a month later, let the Royal Caribbean buy it. So the document you're looking at now is an affidavit that had to do, see, let me go to the front of the document so you can see it. It's the bottom page. Affidavit of Dr. Hubert Minnis. All right, this is that he had to file with reference to this. All right, and it was lodged by McKinney, Bank and Hughes, etc. Registry Department. Watch this. And so let me read this document to you. All right, Dr. Hubert Minnis of the Western District of the Island of Providence, one of the islands of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, make out and say as follows: I am the president of Lucayan Beach Casino Hotel Limited, a company, so this is Grand Lucayan, all right? A company duly incorporated under the provisions of the Companies Act and doing business in said Commonwealth of the Bahamas, called the company, and I duly authorized by the company to make this affidavit by an indenture of Devonshire and leakage made on the first day of September, AD 1986, made between the company of the one part and the Bank of Nova Scotia of the other part, and now recorded in the Registry of Records in the city of Nassau in the said island of New Providence, book whatever, conveyed by legal mortgage inter alia, etc., etc. All right. So this is him swearing as it relates to the documentation relates to this company that he was a partner in, and he wasn't just a partner; he was the president. How would Minnis get involved in all these things? I keep telling you all that all of these politicians are working together. Minnis was a doctor, president of Grand Lucayan. As you can see, in the entry of conveyance and the development company limited, and you can see all of this. All right, I'm not reading the whole thing, but this is how y'all keep getting swing. All of these fellas are partners and working together. Here's his signature. It's 1997. Here's his signature. And this is why I did a whole live on this. So I won't go into the whole thing now, but we got to keep reminding people of this stuff. And so Minnis was a partner in the Grand Lucayan. Wake up, y'all. Wake up before it's too late. New one country we got. All right.
They are successful in doing is self-interest. Everything they do, when you really look at them, they always succeed in self-interest, personal interest. Bahamian public, when it comes to the national issues, there's always excuse failures. But whenever they come in poor, not poor, but they come in and they leave out really substantially wealthy. And that's the only thing they ever seems to succeed at.
Watch this. The same people run this country no matter who is in the government. All right? The same people. These are the people that Pintard are working for. You've been warned. Before the last election, I told everybody about Brent Simonet when he was coming back. Not the last one, the one before that in 2017. Brent Simonet was coming back. I said, y'all think he coming back on slack? And I warned everyone what was going on. And Brent came and all the contracts went to Brent. Everything went to him. And then he just pulled out halfway through. I told people why Brent was coming back and they didn't listen. All right. I told people what was going to happen if Brave Davis won. I told them what was going to happen with crime, immigration, all this kind of stuff. Everything I'm saying is coming to pass. And I'm going to tell you, this is our country we're trying to share. And we need people to wake up. If you let Pintard get in there, he's going to be a puppet for Brent Simonet and the oligarchs. And people are going to say, boy, Lincoln warned us, we should listen. He's going to be a puppet for Brent Simonet and the oligarchs. And they are coming with a vengeance to control this country. Pintard, don't mind all the fluff and all that, don't mind. They're going to throw money behind him. They're going to get good candidates to work with him. But all that is so that they can keep making the money and you can keep suffering. All this money they're making, they couldn't build one hospital. They couldn't give us proper electricity. Nothing that works in this country. Nothing. Nothing. Not one thing works. They taxing us to death. The business people now have to pay double tax. I mean, no one's saying nothing. When you renew your business license, you got to pay for the year you just went through, and you got to estimate what you think you can make in the following year and then pay that in advance. Jesus. That's what Brave them do. And we just, oh, Brave doing a good job.
Well, Mr. Bean,
I don't know what else to say.
One of the things I am excited about as it relates to Vision 2025 is the island state governance. This is now where we are now going to, a part of our vision and the plan for this country is to have island state governance. We need our islands to be able to govern themselves. Only we need to start putting policies in place, and that means that our current Freeport needs to be able to govern her own affairs. So does Abaco, Eleuthera, Andros. These islands needs to be able to govern their own affairs. So we need to get into the house where we can start passing legislations and policies and get these things up and running. Of course, we need to change our system. But we need our people to benefit from this country. And the only way we are going to do that is if the people are ready for it. Is if the people are ready to reclaim their country.
Yeah. So I wanna say this, and I think we have to reiterate our biggest thing is island states and city government. And the biggest problem we have is that the politicians keep failing us, and they have a system where they make all the money. And the oligarchs make the big money, and then the politicians, get the crumbs from them, and we get the drizzle. And that's what Brent Simonet called the trickle-down government. I mean, Brent Simonet literally said that out of his mouth. The trickle. That means him and the oligarchs get everything, and you get whatever trickles down. And people still voted F&M. And there are people still considering voting for Pintard and them. This is mind-blowing to me. Like we need to be studied scientifically as a people to see what could have happened to us. That we don't have any common sense.
There's a certain breed of not a certain breed, but a certain mind frame of thinking that is basically we off right now. I truly believe that our people are waking up. I do see the change in conversation are absorbing the information. I mean, what island nation would not want to decentralize the government? We need to have governments on every, at least the local governance on every island. Not every island, but we know how we need this done. It's so saddening to hear the cries of persons from the family islands, to know that persons are dying because of lack of basic needs, medical care, health care. This is a humanitarian, Lincoln, there are so many things that is wrong. And if we don't get it together now, we will never have a chance to ever get it together. I truly believe that as Bahamians, this election that is coming up is our last election. We have to give our children a fighting chance.
Yeah, and so before I explain island states again, I just want to remind everyone that we're having a walkathon. That's our second annual Coalition of Independence walkathon in Grand Bahama. And so please come out and support. Don't just tell us to support. Don't just tell us to keep going. You got to support. So come out and support. The thing is a walkathon and South out. All right. So come and support it. It's going to be on Saturday the 25th. Saturday the 25th. And so this Saturday, make sure you are there. And so registration is going to start in the morning at 6:30 a.m. So make sure to be there on time. And the walkathon, I think, begins at 7. All right. So registration starts at 6:30 a.m. And make sure you're there. So the fee for persons 12 years and older, it's $5. And for 11 years and younger, it's just $3, right? And the South is just $6.99. That's $7. I don't know what kind of giveaway this is. That sounds like a charity, but we like to give back in the Coalition of Independence. So make sure you come and support the thing. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of any of our think tank, so we are now planning the New Bahamas. If you want to be a part of that, simply go to our website and register. So when you go to our website, you're going to see Think Tank. Go to the menu and you'll see Think Tank. Join the Think Tank so that you can hear what it is we have planned for the country, and then you can also be a part of that planning, because we want a lot of our plans to come from the people also, not just from anyone just telling you what should happen moving forward. We want you to be a part of this. And we want your ideas, because, no one has the monopoly on ideas. And so we're going to have you to be a part of this. So just to quickly show you what's going on with that, just go to our website. That's what you see on the screen right now. And you'll see, where does Think Tank go? All right. You'll see we have the Think Tank right here. That's a part of our menu. We also have committees. If you want to join any of our committees, if you're a member, you want to join any of our committees, you're free to do so. And they have stuff up there for the branches and stuff, but that won't be on there. That's not for the public. All right. So the Think Tank, you can join, be a part of that. And so here you can just come, sign up, show which areas you want to contribute. And this is the forming of Vision 2030. All right. And so there's Vision 2030. So if it's agriculture, crime, immigration, tourism, wherever you want, you could pick more than one. All right. You could be a part of all if you want to. All right. Culture, youth, disability, empowerment. And so we are going to have a serious plan for disability in this country moving forward. We're gonna make sure that the persons who are disabled, that they can live comfortably in this country, and they can be a part of society. All right. Roadworks, finance, if you want to be a part of that, the sovereign wealth fund, the carbon credits, good governance, and island states. We got to plan this whole thing out with you. We want you to be a part of the planning, not coming to you afterwards. National business ventures are talking about us going into to shipping companies. We're going to have shipping companies as Bahamian owned. We're going to have cruise ships as Bahamian owned, electricity companies with solar, etc. So there's going to be some companies that we own. So we're making money as a country the way Qatar and Dubai and them do it. Urban transformation, which is big. Agriculture. We have to transform agriculture, fisheries, government digitization, inland revenue, labor and public service, environment, foreign affairs, social services, judicial and legal reform. Our laws, our judicial system has to change. Foreign affairs, banking and finance services, and land reform. We have this land reform is a serious one. All right, and so this come and be a part of what is going on. All right, and explore our website. So Vision 2025 is right here. We're gonna put the whole thing on there. We did clips on there. This was during the lockdowns when we did Vision 2025. We were not interested in politics at the time, and I was doing the lockdown, and we just went and did that. I think there was a rain going on heavily when I did this, and so we had to go there and cut this up, and send it out there. So I even misspoke a couple of times while I was doing this. But Vision 2025 is there. And so you can go here and you can contribute to it. And you can see all of the things that we've put forward back in the day. You can see all of our documentaries that started this whole thing out. You can just go here and documentaries, and you can see from the first documentaries, Bahamasan with Modern Gold. All of these are here. So we want you to be a part of this, and also our vision. So we started putting out our vision for education, tourism, and some other things. Let me just get the phone line, and then we'll kind of wrap up. Good evening, you're live. Good night, my brother.
I just will say two things, and then I hang up. Two things. The people who you see around this politicians, while they campaigning or doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, these people you see they're doing that. These are the people who get the little contracts and the little side jobs and stuff, the little jobs.
Yeah.
You can't worry with them.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I say. The second thing is BM is like party. They like a good time. That's our problem.
Yeah.
You see? BM is like a good time with a party. They once you have a party there, what your mission is. Once you control a party and have a good time, that's what BM is like.
Yeah.
I can say that now. I'll keep fighting, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
And so we keep talking about island states and city government, and that basically means that you don't have to depend on the politician anymore, that we're going to do this ourselves, and we need to have a whole live on that to explain how this works, but we're going to do it after we have our meeting. So we're going to have weekly meetings on our platform. It's going to be virtual meetings where you can be a part of this. So it starts on June 5th. The first meeting is going to be on June 5th. So we're going to be dealing with land reform and all this kind of stuff. We're going to be having these discussions, and we're going to put together a master plan for the Bahamian society moving forward. All right. We've been going for over 2 hours now. Is there anything you want to wrap up and saying, Ms. Green?
Yes, I just want to encourage all members and supporters to. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Bain?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I just want to encourage our members our supporters to go on, visit the website and sign up for the committees and the platform. We are continuing with the construction of the organization. Of course, it's being built from the ground up, and this movement is going to take all hands on deck. We have events, fundraising events that's taking place. We have an organization to build because we have a country to fight for. So we are all soldiers in this war, and we have to preserve this country for our children. And like I said, we must be intentional about it. So visit the website. See how you can be a part of what is going on.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And remember to fund the movement. The movement takes financing, and it's going to have to come from the people. And so you can click on these links that we're putting up there now. Any of these links, and that's GoFundMe if you're in the US or the Bahamas, and send the other link that goes directly to us if you're in the Bahamas. All right. So just click on those links and or scan those QR codes, and make sure you fund the movement. If you're a member, make sure you pay your membership dues. We got to get this done, and we got to get this done together. And so, yeah, these other parties have the oligarchs who've been raping and robbing us and want to continue to rape and rob us, and who've been doing so for all these years. But we have to be strong, and we have to make sure that we are able to continue to do what we have to do to make sure our country stays in Bahamian hands. Otherwise, it's gone. All right. So support the movement, fund the movement. You can do it online, or you can come to our office. It's open every day from, I think it's 10 to 3, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So come and be a part. And thank you for those who are clicking. 3 people clicked on it. So we got 1,300 people on here. 3 of you have clicked on the link so far, or scanned it. So thank you for you. Yes, thank you for that. We will continue to fight. We can't give on our country. This is the only country that we have, and no help is coming from any politician. They are there to serve, do the bidding of their masters, and we can't have that. We are here to fight for ourselves, and that's what we are. All right. So I'm going to see you again on Sunday at 5 p.m. So that's Sunday at 5 p.m. And we're going to have an interesting discussion at that time, again, as we always do. Thank you, Ms. Green, for being a part of this. We have to do much more of this, and of course, we're going to make sure that you hear from more of our people moving forward. But thank you for your support. Support the movement. Don't just tell us y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. I don't care if it's $5, $1, $10. Every little bit counts in order to get this done. All right. Those people want to continue to rape and rob you. We want a country that works. So we are going to be launching our plans to the Bahamian people in short order. And you're going to hear a country that works with feasible plans. Someone says we're selling dreams and everyone can't get this and can't get that. Well, we're going to show you exactly how it's going to be done. We have no problem with that. All right. So we're going to make this happen. Thank you to all of you who have clicked on the link. Please, even after this is over, share the live or go and put your @followers, your @highlight, because they're going to block any lives like this. All right. So thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. We are going to continue to fight. We are going to continue to battle on behalf of the Bahamian people. And we are going to change this country one Bahamian at a time. This is only going to happen if you make it happen. You have to go out there and you have to talk to your friends and family and your co-workers. There's a ground movement happening right now as we speak. And that's people talking to their friends and family. See, FNM are ashamed. They know what the FNM has done to the Bahamian people. They can't be out there campaigning. They can't be serious. PLPs are ashamed because they know their government is failing and just doing a bunch of PR. You can bring that change. Don't say, Lincoln, you all need to do this, go in the parks, do this. No. We have a COI supporter in every house in this country right now. Talk to your friends and family. Don't give up on them. We have a COI supporter in every workplace. Talk to your people and let's make this happen. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And the Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers. To all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. Selassie, I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us. Kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck, yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. Soon as Lincoln Bain and his team came with information, it's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They'd rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nawa, there's no more time for us to sit back